Hey everyone, today I'll walk you through setting up a nanobot-web UI, which is a personal AI assistant that you install it once and you just work with web UI, Telegram, Discord, WhatsApp, etc. Let's get started. Alright, so before we go into the setup, for people who don't know what is nanobot, basically it's an ultra lightweight personal AI assistant that comes after Openclaw was launched. So Openclaw was launched like 2 or 3 months ago, and it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of space, and also you will need at least 4 GB of RAM to run it. That's why Hong Kong labs built or repackaged the entire Openclaw in just 4,000 lines of code using Python, and it can run in less than 2 GB of RAM. So if you look at Openclaw and Nanobot, you may be wondering, why do we have another one? Well, nanobot-web, it's my fork of the original repository, nanobot, and the only problem nanobot has, it doesn't have a web functionality, which means if you want to change the configuration, let's say you want to set up a Telegram, or you want to tweak the model name, some API keys, credentials, etc., you can't. You have to be technical to change everything under the hood. That's why I have built nanobot-web, which is a fork of this original repository, and I have added a bunch of functionality, and I've added the web UI where you can actually change it here without knowing what's happening under the hood or how this entire application is set up. Also, I've added some integration with Composio. So I've seen a lot of issues for people want to set up a specific toolkit they want to their AI agent to access. Let's say you want to access Gmail or Slack, Google Sheets, Shopify, etc. You will need to go to that specific platform and get the credentials and tell your AI to set up that for you, but sometimes you're just stuck and you cannot just connect it. Okay, you get a lot of errors, a lot of issues, so you don't want to do that. So Composio comes here to solve this issue. Just go ahead and grab your API key and you connect it to your agent, and you just start connecting your account. All right, so enough talking, let's get into it. So go to this repository. I will leave the link in the description below. Scroll down, and here you have two options in the install. This is one command install. You can either install it from repository. If you know how to clone this, you can do it. If you don't, you can just copy this. I'm just going to copy this and I will go to my terminal. All right, so you can either run it on your local computer or your virtual machine or your VPS, whatever you want. Just copy this command and paste it here and hit enter. And now it will go ahead and install all the prerequisites like Python, Node.js, all that sort of stuff. All right, so after a while, now it will take you to the onboarding. The first thing is about you. So you will type your name, say Altman, hit enter. Next, the time zone, say UTC. This will help like with the cron job stuff. Hit enter. The preferred language, so I'll keep it as English. Next, the work context, the communication style. So you can either type casual, professional, technical. I'll leave it as technical. Type 3 and hit enter. Next, the response length, like how do you want it to respond? Pre-even conscious, detailed, explanation, adaptive. I will like the pre-even conscious. And hit enter again. The technical level, obviously the expert. Next, the primary role, like you want it to be a developer, research. You can skip it. I'll skip it. Next, the main project you are working on, like something that you want it to help you with. I'll leave it as a default. The tools you use, I'll just keep that. And here you can type a specific instructions. I'll leave it as the default. Next, we can set up the LLM provider. So you can set up Anthropic, OpenAI, DeepSeek, Gemini, OpenRouter, Llama. I'll go with OpenAI. So I'm just going to select 2, hit enter. Next, you will need the model. So what you want to do is to type the provider, which is OpenAI. If your provider is Anthropic, you can type Anthropic, okay? Then slash, then the model ID. So I'll type OpenAI. Then go to your providers. Each provider has a specific like a link to all the models they have. So these are OpenAI models. So you can copy the ID. So if I want GPT-5 mini, just go ahead and copy the model ID. You come back to the terminal and type OpenAI again, slash, and then the model ID, which is GPT 5.4 mini. Hit enter. Now you will need the API key. So I'm just gonna type paste it in here. You won't be able to see it. Just Control V to paste it and hit enter. Now it is pasted. Next, we can set up the chat channels. You can set up Slack, WhatsApp, Discord. I'll go with Telegram. So it's 1. Hit enter. Next, we'll need the bot token. We'll go to the bot father. Already have a bot token here. So I'm gonna revoke it and I will copy. All right. Let's go back to the bot father, and so it's this one, I believe. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy this and paste it in here, hit enter. Now the tool and integration, you can add the Brave Search API. Oh, I don't have it, I'm just gonna hit enter. The next things we want is the Composio. Like I said, Composio allow you to have access to a specific or all the integration and tools. Okay, so go to the settings once you sign up, obviously. Go to API keys, then I'm just gonna create a new one. Let's call it admin, create, and I'm just gonna copy this. And then I'm just gonna paste it down here. You won't be able to see it again. Hit enter. Now, do you want to start the web? Yes. Hit enter. And now the nanobot-web UI is live. All right, so just go ahead and open that up. All right, and here we are on the nanobot-web console. So we have chat. We can go ahead and chat with it. I'm gonna say hi and send. Now you can see the nanobot is generating a response. So wait for it. You can see, hi Ottoman, how can I help you? So it picks up the name that I have set. So if we go to the settings, here you can see some tools. So you can, if you don't want it to have access to the file, like to read files, write, etc., you can disable it. If you don't want it to execute commands, you can disable it. You can see it's already disabled. Web tools like fetch and search. We have services integrations, which means the integration from Composio. Now we have messaging, which is the channels. Spawn, like to spawn a sub-agent, cron job, MCP server, etc. So if you'd like to configure or change the model provider, you can just go here and click the provider you have, then the API key, and then the model. Make sure you change the model ID as well. And here are some configuration of the model. You don't need to know about this. And if you would like to set up the entire wizard again from scratch, you can just click run setup wizard, and you can fill up these forms. I'm just going to click skip all. And here you can also paste in Brave Search and all those tools. Next, if you go back to integrations and wait for it a little bit, you can see the API key is configured. If it's not configured, you can just paste that in here. And here you can see I already connected, even though this is a new fresh server. And the reason why it's because it's the same account, or it's the same API key. That's why it's already said it's connected. So this is good things, because if you go ahead and remove the entire server, and again, I created another bot server, or I have like take it to another, I don't know, my PC, for example. I don't want to go ahead and connect the account again. It's already saved because it's saved here on the Composio. So I already save it. You can see Gmail is saved. If you would like to add any account, so let's say like Google Calendar, I'm just going to click connect. All right, so go ahead and select your account, your Gmail. I'm just going to click continue. And now the authentication is successful. So I'm just going to remove it. And here you can see Google Calendar is already connected. All right, so these are how you can set up integration. So we have, this platform has a bunch of them. So right now we only have like these a couple. I don't want to add a lot. But if you have a specific platform in mind that it's already here, just let me know and I will add it, okay? Next, let's go to channels. If you go to channels, here you can see I already have a bot, Telegram. So if we go ahead and to chat with it, let's open this again. Let's chat with the bot. I'm going to say hi. And here you can see it's not responding. And the reason why, it's because we need to add allowed users. All right, you can to set it to always reply, but I don't recommend it, because anyone who has an ID of your bot can just go ahead and chat with it. And you don't want to do that. You want to keep it safe only for you. So just make sure it's mentioned only. So all you need is the ID of your account. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy my ID, and let's go ahead and paste it in here. If you want to add another ID, you can just hit enter in a new line, and we're gonna go ahead and click save. All right, now it is saved. Wait a couple of seconds. Just go ahead to the bot. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say message, and I will say hi. And here you should see it is typing, hi Ottoman, how can I help you? All right, so let's continue exploring the UI. If you go to knowledge, here you can see the soul, the personality of the bot. You can tweak it, change it, the user profile. As you can see, this is my name, the time zone, the language, etc., the work context. Feel free to change this. And also we have a knowledge file where you can upload your own document, etc. Next, we have memory. So these are the history of the chat. Okay, and these are the long-term memory, right? Next, we have tasks. So the current job or tasks that will be executed on a scheduled basis, it will be here. If you want to create a new, you can just click create, give it a name, recurrent intervals, which means whether you want it to be recurrent or cron expressions. This is cron expressions. If you don't know about cron, leave it as recurrent intervals or one shot, which means once. For intervals, you just like to type 30 minutes, etc. And these are the message, which means what the bot should do. And also you can enable deliver response, which means whenever the job has finished, where do you want to deliver the response. Obviously, if you want Telegram, you can type Telegram and then the user ID, your own ID, where you want it to send you the response. You just click create. If you don't want to create it, you can again came here, okay, and then you can ask it to create a job for you, or you can obviously go to the bot on Telegram or where you have the channel set. Next, we have skills. So we already have a bunch of them, like cron, weather, remote control, GitHub, etc. If you have a specific skill, you can just click add skill and give it a name and explain the skill. Obviously, skill is just like a file that explains to the AI how to interact or how to do stuff. All right, next, let's go here and see if it can actually do stuff for us. Just go to Cron and make sure you enable it, because we are going to create a job here on automation. Go to chat and I'll say create an automation that fetch latest 3 emails and summarize it. Every 10 a.m. send me the results on my Telegram. You give it the Telegram ID. So I'm just going to send this. All right. Now once it is done, you can see some thinking, tool calling. So this is actually what happened behind the scene. Try to figure out how to do it. And here you can see I have done. I created the daily automation, etc. Now if you go to tasks, you can see that we have a new job here. Okay. If you want to run it now, you can just click run, but it will run on 11 a.m. So I'm just going to click run now and see the results. All right. So once it is done, you should see okay here, and you should see latest run here, which is the time now. If we go back to Telegram, we should see latest Gmail update. So these are security alerts from Google. Next, we can also install all sorts of skills. If you go to clawhub.ai, you can find a bunch of skills here. You can just filter by name. Let's say we'll like to summarize URL or files with summarize CLI. Just click on the skill, and here you can see a skill.md. So this is a markdown file that explains to the agent how to interact with this skill. Okay, I think we already have it here. Yeah, you can find it's already built in. If it's not installed, you can either copy the entire content like this, right, and just paste it in here, like add the skill and paste data here. If you don't, you can just copy this URL and tell the AI to install. You can say install this skill and give it the URL of the skill and any requirement, because the reason why I said requirement, because when I say install this skill, all it does, it just pull up the information here and it just save them as a markdown file. Meanwhile, for example, this one is not available in my system, so it needs to be installed. Okay, so this is the difference between installing a markdown and the actual installation of the requirements. Just make sure, keep that in mind. All right, so any requirement, you're gonna hit enter. Right, so here done. I installed this summarized skill into the workspace. It needs one of the listed LLM API keys to work. May optionally use Firecrawl. Alright, so now done. I have saved your API key into summarize skill local config. Right, so let's go ahead and test it. So we'll give it this article, and I will say, summarize, use summarize skill and summarize this article. Hit enter. After a while, here is a conscious summary of the article. Explains how to run local LLM with Olama. Install any innovate Docker, connect to Olama local network address model, etc. All right, so that's it for the video of today. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe button. All the resources will be available in the description below. If you have any integration or issues, feel free to leave it on the comment, or you can come to the repository, go to issues, and you can add a new issue. See you next video.